So first, let's maybe start with the one we started with, which was company data, right? So our original goal was the roles were early, and we wanted to help people find those breakout companies. So we use Scalestack to help us figure out, as I mentioned, like, is the company hiring remotely or not? Are they a remote company? How big are they? How fast are they growing? What's their Glassdoor score? I'm trying to think what else. Who their investors are, when their last fundraising was. And so when you leave the working world, when you get fired or when you have to look for a new job, you lose access to updated data,
Mhm.
Zoom info, and you don't have it. And so we've built a completely free database of all of that information. Anybody can come on and use that. And so a lot of it is enriched by Scalestack. So that was the first use case we had. The second use case we had was now we're starting to see a lot of people sign up. And we really know, and we've gotten smart, who we can help and who we can't. We always talk about there are people that are, there's A candidates, there's polishable candidates that we think we can help get to A, and then there's the more challenging candidates that, at least with our model right now, we can't help. And so we've built the agents to go do that decision process for us on there. So every time somebody signs up for Whispered, all they give us is their email and their
Mm.
professional profile. Then the Scalestack agents go out and they say what function, what level, what location, how many followers. They tell us a lot of those things. Those are kind of the easy, just pull them and find them. Then we've built some really powerful agents. One is to say, what is and this is the same evaluation that recruiters are doing all the time. And we spent time with them regressing it. But they say, what's the quality of the companies you've worked at? And so we've actually rebuilt that thing twice with your team because the thesis we had was wrong. But the one we've ended up with is it's actually three things. One, what do investors think about those companies? Two is what industries are those in? And the third is do those
Mm.
companies have a lot of followers? And so then we weight all that by how long you worked at each one of those companies, which is a fairly complicated mathematical process. And we come back with a score from 1 to 5, and then we write a reason for that we share. We actually share that with the people when they sign up. Um, we also do the same for tenure, right? Like, maybe you had some amazing companies, but are you flighty? But that's actually a fairly complicated one, right? Because if you've got pavilion member, you can't use that. And so we had to
Yeah.
build all the exclusion rules and all that. And I got really smart around how to write agents based upon working with your team. It was incredibly helpful. So we have a lot on, those are just a couple examples of how our AI basically tells us who we should talk to and who we shouldn't talk to. And then the third thing that we recently rolled out with you was when we do get a role in, we don't always know who the hiring manager is. Sometimes we get it from a recruiter. We always tell our people never disintermediate recruiters. Sometimes it's just, hey, this company's hiring a CMO. And so we then send your AI agents out to interpret who would be the most logical hiring manager for that role at that company. And so that's incredibly powerful. And then we actually run that through our own network to figure out not only that, but who within Whispered has that connection to that person. And so all of this is being done by agents rather than by our team.
Fantastic. I don't think I could have said it better than what you just described. Where do you think it's important to touch and create yourself? And when is instead important that you keep like focusing on the strategic stuff, on the business inputs and defining the outcomes that you want to achieve?
I think what you guys have done is it's all there. It's turnkey solution. And so then me at this executive level can think about what do I need to see out of the data, and I can ideate it, but I don't have to get in my hands in the weeds. And so it's worked very well for me. You can put a process around it and you can train something. I remember Sam Altman described OpenAI as like your smartest intern, right? And I feel like you should treat it that way. And I don't think it's going to change much for a long time,
Mm.
right?